Hi, I'm Jerry Almeida II, and I'm so glad you joined us for Soul Success Ministries. As you know, I'm a pastor, businessman, law professor, and former politician. And in my travels, I have encountered so many people who are high achievers, who are really trying to change the world, who are trying to become the CEO or the leader of their company, or they're an entrepreneur, or they're a politician and they're trying to run for office to make a difference. Or in a regular day of life, they're a father, they're a mother. There's someone that's trying to make a difference in the world for themselves and for the family. And as they achieve their goals and their objectives, I find oftentimes that many times they feel successful on the outside, but feel empty or some degree of unfulfillment on the inside. That's why I started Soul Success, because the essence of who you are is your soul. And if you don't love yourself the way you should, if you haven't forgiven yourself the way you should, if you don't think that you are deserving of the success that you achieved the way you should, oftentimes whatever joy, whatever peace and happiness that you get from achievements is short-lived. That's why we started Soul Success, because there is no success unless you have inner peace, inner joy, inner happiness, and you feel fulfilled. What we do here is every week we come and we talk about a subject matter or a tip that I've learned through my experience. I want to share with you that on the outside, it looked like I have achieved a lot. I had the house, the car. I had become everything that the world said you should become. I had all the things, the trappings, and all the things that looked like a success. But when I came home, I was miserable. And I couldn't understand why it was that I could achieve so much professionally, and yet personally I was failing so much. And it's because I can put on a pair of Ferragamos, but if I don't love myself, it doesn't matter how many Ferragamos I have. I can drive a Mercedes-Benz and a Porsche, but if I don't feel good about myself, if I haven't forgiven myself, it doesn't matter what car I drive. At some point in time, those things that are external cannot cause internal peace, joy, and love. So we started Soul Success so that we can really talk about these issues, but not only talk about them, but deal with some solutions that have helped me, that hopefully will help you. One of the things I want to talk to you today about is how do you spend your time? What do you think when people attack you? Those of us who are out here trying to make a difference, I call us game changers. You know who you are. You're ambitious. You're a high achiever. You want more than what you have. You are someone who has a job, but you start a business on the side. You become an entrepreneur. You run for office. You're a pastor. You're a leader. You're a father. You're a mother. You're coaching the basketball team. Whatever those things that you're doing. And you have goals and objectives. You're trying to win. And then as you're doing that, people who really have nothing to do with whether you're successful or not always have an opinion, have something to say. Many times they'll say negative things. Sometimes you'll hear about it, or they'll say it directly to you. What do you do when you're under attack? How do you do when you're under attack? Well, the answer is you got to get your soul right. You got to get your inner man right, your inner woman right, because the attacks are going to come. The question is, what do you do in response? If you love yourself the way you should love yourself, the attack should not be devastating. The attack should not be moving. The attack should not shift you. The attack should not distract you. And it's the last one I want to talk about, distraction. Many times we don't see that as devastating as somebody attacking you and attacking your character. But when you respond and you get distracted from your vision, get distracted from the goals and objectives that you have, get distracted from your business plan, from your kids, from whatever you're trying to achieve, it can be just as devastating because distraction is your response. It's in your control. It's what you do in response to what someone has done to you. We can control whether we get distracted or not. One of the things I've learned is that one of the reasons why I continue to respond to people who were critical of me is that I did not have the love that I needed for myself, so I wouldn't spend any time on their criticism. Get this. I didn't love myself enough to ignore their criticism. I then began to check myself. Woe is me. Look at myself. Is their criticism correct? What's going on? I got distracted. Every moment that I thought about their criticism, every moment that I went to defend myself against their criticism, every moment that I dealt with their attack and internalized it was a moment I could have been using to make more money, to build my business, to achieve my goals and my objectives, and keep my joy, my peace, and my love. But I got distracted. I'm here to tell you a tip, a lesson, and that is you have to build your soul and get your soul right, your inner man right, so that you don't get distracted when you're out here in the battle trying to achieve, looking for success, working towards success. And when people say things about you and they attack you, which they will, that you will love yourself enough that you won't even respond to it. You know how it is with drama. Some people just love drama. They like to give drama to you because they got so much drama in them. And then we get distracted with the drama. It keeps us then from enjoying the success we've already achieved. It keeps us from focusing on what God has for us. It keeps us from focusing on our plan, our strategy, our vision. Distractions can be devastating. But guess what? It's in your control. You decide whether to be distracted. You decide whether to ignore the criticisms. You decide whether you're going to pay attention and respond. I'm here to tell you, the more you love yourself, the less you will give time and energy to those persons who don't love you. And for those who love you and still cause drama in your life, you'll love yourself enough to say, I don't need your drama and I don't want your drama. I'm too busy living my life. I'm too busy achieving my dreams and my goals. But here it is. If you're insecure, and if you haven't forgiven yourself, and if you don't feel good about yourself, you will spend a whole lot of time dealing with the criticism and the attacks. So what's in your hand? The power to forgive you, the power to love you as God has loved you. God gave his only begotten son that you may have life and that more abundantly. Why waste that? You need to embrace it. If God forgives you, you forgive yourself. If God gives you grace and mercy, you give yourself grace and mercy. If Jesus loved the world, that he died on the cross just for you, then don't you waste that precious gift and love yourself. Build yourself up. Understand that you are successful. Greater is he that is in me than he that is in the world. You're great because of God in you. So when the criticism comes, they just talking. It's just white noise. Stay focused. Don't give it the time of day. Don't give it even a minute because you're too focused on winning. Finally, I believe the distractions come to kill, steal, and destroy our joy. It's happened to me so many times where I have achieved, feeling good about myself, only to hear somebody, so-and-so said so-and-so, or someone attacked you. That joy I had, I could either give it up or I can retain it. I need to retain it. I say to you the same. Love yourself enough that you will never be distracted when the attacks come. That's called soul success, because there is no success unless you have soul success. Be blessed.